just he's in private practice too, so he, understood. Right, the concern was real. But like I said, he's been very supportive. But I said to him, I said, yeah, there's people that's waiting for me. Like, I know this. And like I said, it just came into fruition. And I'm grateful. I'm humbled. But it's been a ride. But nonetheless, like, I would not, change my decision. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'll do it.
And I've seen you do a great job.
Thank you.
I've seen you do a great job.
I'm trying.
The project I announced, the Hug a Homie campaign with Sean Cooper made in the DMV, the reason I wanted you to answer that question is a lot of folks, since we've made the announcement of trying to raise $30,000 to like cover people's therapy, they're like, well, why don't you just go do it? And I'm like, no, we need a foundation of therapists because therapists can only serve the states that they're certified for. So Virginia, DC, Maryland, and right now our focus is we need to build up literally a fleet of therapists. So I would need 10 therapists per state to start the project outside of raising funds so everyone's paid and everyone can be covered by therapists. And I don't want to burn out the therapists. Because like whatever sessions everybody gets, it's about the quality of the therapist that they're sitting with. And if I put you in a room full of therapists who are burnt out, you're not going to get the service you deserve. And that's important. That's very important.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Bradley, what's up, man? What's good, New York? Man. Can I say that to you now?
You can. You can say a lot of things to me now. It actually feels really good to be home. I haven't been home since I actually started this job, so I'm excited.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Tell us about what you do. Tell us about that check or those checks.
So what pays the bills is I am a testing and navigations coordinator. For a harm reduction nonprofit. Are you guys familiar with harm? So the harm reduction is called NYRE, so New York Harm Reduction Educators. So what we do is we have a SEP program so people can come and exchange their syringes. We have a safer injection bathroom that people can use safely. We're also trained in overdose reversals. The list goes on and on. We have a medical clinic. Even if they don't have health insurance, they can still see a doctor. They can get wound care there. We have case managers. We have a therapist if they need it. We have holistics. They can get acupuncture. We just have so much. But my main role is just to making sure that I'm meeting them where they are. So I'm not always in the building where we're in. I'm more outside. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but I'm on 125th in Harlem. I'm under the bridges. I'm at the parks. I'm out late night, early mornings. I've been doing this work for the last 5 years, and I'm super, super passionate about it. One of the things that I always tell people is this is not a 9 to 5 to me. I was volunteering way before I was paid to do this. When I met Juice, I worked at a dry cleaners. When I met a lot of other people, I worked at Hot Topic as a manager.
We also lived together.
Yeah, so I've worked at Nordstrom's, gyms. I worked a lot of places that did not line up with what I was supposed to do in life. So I'm super, super enthusiastic about this. So yeah.
Okay, shout out to you. Would you like to let the people know about your job in DC that you did also? Because you have history.
Oh man, so it's so crazy. So first let's start with all the jobs I volunteered for. So I used to volunteer in a soup kitchen called Some in Northwest, so others may eat. That's where I started at. Then I started to volunteer for different organizations, the Human Rights Campaign, this great organization in DC called GMHC, the Gay Men's Health Collaborative. That's where I actually got certified to be a HIV tester. Did a lot of community outreach. I've actually learned who I am today. I owe a huge part for these gentlemen. More so my two friends, Strawberry and Dwight.
The other Dwight.
Yes.
I'm like you.
Yeah, I owe them a lot. After that, I worked at Smile, which advocates for homeless LGBT youth. I was just so passionate about my work. I actually wanted to go to Peace Corps. I was going to go to Peace Corps, but then Corona happened. And then I was sitting in the house and I realized that I am not healed from a lot of family trauma. And I cannot heal in this space. And not that anybody in the house was causing trauma, but I just realized that there's a lot of things that I need to work on outside of the house. So a friend was like, yo, I'm moving and I have this space you can stay in. For 3 months, then you gotta go. But then 3 months turned into a year. So I moved to New York and I continued the work. I went to New York with the idea of being a super activist and learning from a major city what I can learn from them. Woo!
Take your time. Go ahead.
Living in New York, there's nothing like it. It's a beautiful city. Nonprofits in New York are a different thing, and I never realized white privilege until I moved to New York now almost a year ago. So like navigating them spaces as all that I am intersected with.
Give us an example of privilege.
Well, one, at work, senior leadership sits upstairs and look at numbers all day. And then they tell me what they think I should do for my community. And I'm like, I'm out here in the trenches. This doesn't work for me, and I'm not gonna do it tomorrow either. So, so it's just been a lot of pushback and a lot of, Bradley, this is who you are, and it's not working for us. And I'm like, yeah, but it works for my community. So, and if we're looking at numbers, the numbers show I'm working. So don't tell me what to do in my community.
Yes, because that is your community.
Yeah, and I love it. I'm always filled with so much gratitude that I can sit in this space with like beautiful people who do the work. It's just a beautiful thing, and I'm just so glad that I can do it. And then even the people I come in contact with daily know that I'm here to do it, because I work with like, I went from working with younger kids who are like, fuck this guy, like he think he know everything, to working with like much older people who have like been using substance since the 80s, who are like, yo, this guy's here to advocate for us and he shows up for us, and we only known him for a short period of time, but here he is. And like, they're like literally saying like, I love you, Bradley. And I'm like, I love you too. And like, I love you as a human being, and I see you and I'm meeting you where you are, and I'm here for you. We might not always see eye to eye, and you might cuss me out, and I'm gonna cuss you the fuck out. But my door is always open for you guys.
Yeah, and always honest. Always honest.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think this is a good starting point. Community. So, how would you guys identify yourself within your community? We're gonna start with Jess. This gonna be the rotation.
I guess right.
My dad growing up was always community man. He was always the community association president. He was always the one cleaning up in the neighborhoods. Like, he always was big on that from the beginning with me.
Yes.
So giving back and putting something back in the community, that was always taught from day one with me. And so when I look at my community, I know I'm not the best at everything, and I know like what I can give. I'm not gonna be the one to tell you not to drink. That's just not me. I'm not gonna be the one to tell you not to smoke weed. That's not gonna be me either. However, when I look at the youth around, and when I look at even my peers around, it's okay to say, yeah, go to therapy, go get some help. Hey, it's okay to be a little bit more open-minded. It's 2021. People are gay. That's fine. It's really not a big deal. And it's okay to stand up against them and, acknowledge that I understand that it is ignorance. And ignorance, in a way, it is what it is. You don't know better. Like, you truly don't know better. But if I'm giving you the opportunity, and vice versa, if I get the opportunity to learn something as well, then to take the opportunity to learn, because that's what we're all here for, is to learn and to grow. So before COVID hit,